How is it going, guys? It is time for the new products video of October. We haven't done one of these in a while, so it's good to get back into the groove of things. It's crazy that this year is almost over. I mean, at the beginning of the year, we just moved into this space, and now we've almost outgrown it. And I know I probably say this every year, but it seems like it has flown by. We're almost to Halloween, then we have Thanksgiving, and then Christmas, and then it's 2025, a quarter of the way to the year 2100, which is nuts. But we still have a long way to get there, so before we worry about that, let's take a look at what we've got for this month. Of course, we got to start off with some driven media goodness. This is the new TRD GR Style Stabilizing Cover. If you take a look on the back of your GR86 or BRZ, you'll notice that there is a decent sized gap in between the rear windshield and the trunk. And what can happen is dirt, debris, leaves, twigs, whatever, can fall onto your windshield and it ends up getting into that gap, and then it can clog your rain channel and make it all nasty and grimy. So what you do is install this onto the bottom of your rear windshield, and this helps to close up that gap to prevent debris from getting into the rain channel that's supposed to divert water away from your trunk. And because you're closing up that gap, you also get a little bit of benefit from the improved aerodynamics, since it's a smoother transition from the windshield to the trunk. It's obviously not going to be substantial, but it is a slight increase in aerodynamic performance. Now, it is super easy to install. You just put some double-sided tape on the backside, line it up, and place it on there. It's finished off in a nice gloss black, so it blends in with your windshield. This is one of those things that you don't think you need until you actually see it installed on the car. And I've seen some pretty grimy rain channels in people's trunks, and I definitely don't want that to happen on this car, so we are certainly going to be installing this right after this video. For those of you that are looking to make a slight change to the rear end of the car, but you don't want something that's too crazy, this here is the TRD GR Style Aero Fin Roof Spoiler. It installs directly onto the rear portion of your roof, and it accentuates those two body lines that flow across the top. It has these two aero fins that make the roof line just a tad bit more aggressive. It's finished off in a gloss black, just like the stabilizing cover, and it's a quick and simple install. So if you're looking to add a subtle change to the back of the car, this may be a great option for you. This next part is for those engine bay dress-up lovers out there. What we've got here is the new Driven Media carbon fiber radiator shroud. As you may have guessed, this installs over the top of your radiator and flows from one headlight to the next. It's one of the first things you see as you go to open up that hood, and it's a great statement piece to add, especially if you have other carbon bits in your engine bay, like the pulley covers or a fuse box cover. It does a fantastic job of integrating or flowing into the stock air box, and I think it does wonderful things for this front portion of the engine bay. Also, all you have to do to install it is zap off these 5 10mm bolts that are holding the top portion of the bumper in place, slide it in, reinstall the bolts, and that's it. And of course, it's available in gloss, matte, or forged. Now, I've already shown you guys these, but when I did, they weren't actually available yet. These are the Koni GTS Coilovers. I was lucky enough to work directly with Koni to have one of the first prototypes installed and debuted on this car at SEMA last year. I actually installed these in a parking garage in Vegas. But Koni has been known in the suspension industry for quite some time now, and it's great to see that they've come up with a coilover solution for a variety of different vehicles. I've been able to put some miles on these on the street and on the track, so let's talk about them. I would classify these as a dual purpose coilover. So on the street, they're comfortable, they're able to absorb those imperfections in the road, and they're not too stiff where you're breaking your back driving over a crack. Out on the track, you're able to adjust the damping, dial in the camber with the camber plates, lower the car, lower the center of gravity, helps to minimize that body roll. It's very well mannered out on the track, which gives you a lot of confidence. It also does a heck of a job absorbing the curb so you can be aggressive when you're hitting those apexes and trying to chase after those fast lap times. They come in at just over $1,600, so pretty competitive pricing compared to the competition. And like I said, I have these installed on my car. I very much have enjoyed them so far. I have a couple sets actually in stock. I know they're out of stock currently. I don't know how long the wait is right now, but if you are looking for a new suspension setup for your GR86 or BRZ and you're wanting something, like I said, dual purpose, you want it to be still comfortable as a daily driver, but you want to be able to take it out to autocross or the track and have that performance upgrade, these are a fantastic option. This next product is from Veris Engineering. This is gonna be for those of you that do a lot of work on your car, whether it's taking the wheels on and off, brakes, suspension, exhaust, whatever it is that requires you to get the car up in the air on jack stands or lift using those pinch welds. Over time, what can happen is those pinch welds bend and get damaged and they just look janky. So to help prevent that, Veris Engineering has come out with their pinch weld jack pucks. And what these do is slide over your pinch weld and you lock them in place with some bolts, and that gives you a solid place to put your jack stands or the lift arms so your pinch welds don't get damaged. It's a no-brainer. Also wanted to point out that Veris Engineering is working on an oil pan solution for these cars. They're not currently available yet, but they are working on it. I'm not gonna go through all of that in this video because I'll probably do a whole video dedicated to that because there's a lot of information there to be shared, but I did want to point out that they are working on an oil pan solution to hopefully mitigate some of the oiling issues on this car. This next product is a unique one from Apexi. It is their N1 brake air shroud. I don't actually have it installed on this car because I have aftermarket front lower control arms, but what these do is installs onto your OEM control arms and helps to direct cool air from underneath the car up towards your brakes to help cool them down. So great for those of you that are tracking your cars. And these have actually been engineered and tested over in Japan to ensure that they are effective and it's not just some gimmicky product. It's such a genius way of how they've integrated it into the OEM control arm. That way you don't have to run ducting from the front of the car to the brakes and cut up your fender liner and all that. It's such an OEM plus plug and play solution. We've got a few new products from KMA Auto, the first of which is their front stabilizer kit, which is essentially a sway bar kit, but they made a few changes to the shape of the sway bar and how it's actually mounted to help prevent binding. They've straightened out the end of the sway bar, and now the end link portion is not only connected to the shock body, but also the lower control arm. We've also got their wide angle master kit, which is basically a whole revamp of the front suspension here. You get short knuckles, extended front lower control arms, reinforced tie rods, extended tie rod ends. There's 3 different versions. There's a standard, 20mm and 30mm. So whether you are just looking to get some more steering angle or you're looking to optimize wheel fitment or you have a wide body kit that you're installing, this is gonna allow you to optimize that fitment that you're looking to achieve. Speaking of wide body kits, a new company called Airor 404 Motorsports, which a buddy of mine has been helping to work on, just announced their wide body kit for the GR86 and BRZ. And it is one of the craziest, aggressive, sleek looking kits currently available for these cars. It 100% gives me new GT3 RS vibes with the air channels on the front bumper, right behind the front wheel and the rear bumper, and then you have the vent behind the door. It's super aggressive. If you aren't into the whole crazy wide body thing, you can pick up the rear roof visor or the trunk spoiler separately on the website if they float your boat. They are going to be debuting this kit at SEMA this year. It's at the beginning of next month. So if you are wanting to see coverage of this in person, let me know. We're gonna be at SEMA, so I'll be on the lookout for their car wherever it's gonna be. Let me know what you guys think on the kit. Hopping inside the car, this next piece is something that actually a lot of people have been asking for. This is the carbon fiber extended center console. And like the standard center console cover, it covers up the portion around the traction control buttons. But the extended version doesn't stop right before the shifter. It goes all the way up and around the shifter towards the glove box, giving you more coverage of that black plastic that's super easy to scuff up. So it gives you one seamless look around the center console. And if you pair this up with other carbon bits inside the car, like the shifter surround, knob panel cover, etc., it absolutely transforms how the inside of this car looks. And of course, it's available in gloss, matte, and forged. For those of you that are looking for a new exhaust setup and you have that sort of stealthy, blacked out look going on, Remar has their axle back available with black double wall tips. I absolutely love black tips. That came out wrong. Not those types of tips, exhaust tips. And the reason why is because they do a really good job of hiding the exhaust soot, so you don't have to worry about cleaning up your exhaust tips so often. And especially with the black plastic of the bumper here, it integrates really well into the rear end of the car, and it completes that blacked out look if that's what you're going for. While we're back here, last but certainly not least, let's talk about the Valenti dual rear fog lamp. I actually ran the Valenti taillights on this car for quite some time, and they're still one of my absolute favorite taillight options for these cars. So if you're wanting to complete the whole Valenti lighting setup in the rear of the car, you can pick up the rear fog lamp. It's available with either a smoke lens or red lens. It, of course, has the iconic V shape for the parking light that's going to turn on when you turn your headlights on. You get a flashing brake light in the center, and then the reverse light is right under the bar on the bottom outside portions of the light. It is kind of expensive, but that's kind of the price you pay for JDM goodness. Now that is going to do it for this month's new products video. If you guys like something you saw, all the links are down in the description. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, drop a comment down below. I am always happy to help. If you guys are enjoying the content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.